Hi everyone, I'm Alastair Stevens, and this is the 5th episode of my Crusader Kings 2 long play, A Highland Fling. We pick up from our somewhat curtailed episode 4, following a crash that lost us just a couple of months of play. We are now picking up on the 1st of January, 1085, some, 5 months perhaps after the death of the great King Jamie, who ascended from the Dukedom of Murray to the throne of Scotland itself, who died during a tryst with his wife. We now pick up with Jamie's heir, Stephen, who has, as I said, only been in the job for about 5 months. He's only 12 years old. Currently, his mother is acting as regent, and we have a problem because, of course, following the transition, there is a certain political unrest in the Kingdom of Scotland. So let's just start that clock ticking, because nothing is going to solve this problem quite as readily as moving forward through time. That will diminish both the short rule penalty that King Stephen is currently suffering from, and of course get him ever closer to adulthood so that we may marry him off effectively and hopefully foster some new alliances into the bargain. He is, of course, continuing, as I select independent realms here, he is continuing to look west with hungry eyes at the Duchy of the Isles here, all along Scotland's western frontier, the one great achievement that eluded his father even unto his dying day. He wasn't able to completely unify Scotland. That is going to be King Stephen's ultimate goal, though we're a long way from that. In the meantime, though, my Marshal, Bishop Glenn of St. Macher, has managed to train some troops in Murray. I probably shouldn't have him training troops right now, I guess. I think probably researching military tech may be more directly useful right now. Likewise, apparently that didn't work. Also, researching economic tech may be advantageous as well, rather than pinning all my hopes on that, 25% yearly chance of a big payout from taxation. So, the aim of the game right now is to consolidate my hold on Scotland, to win over these individual lords. Oh my. Due to court intrigue well beyond your present ability to comprehend, your current serving regent has been replaced with another, specifically Bishop Trond of Dornach, the Norwegian. What could possibly have happened? Is my mother dead? Is she exiled? What has happened? No, she's still here. She's still High Almoner and still Queen Mother, but okay, my Chancellor has managed to win over Prince Donald of Scotland and changed his reputation. Changed my reputation, changed his opinion by 30 points for the next 4 years. So that's quite the triumph. So if we re-click that button, yes, we see that that has increased just a little. So we've won over both dukes who are serving me presently. 42 for Duke Guspatrick of Lothian, and 47 for Duke Donald of Albany. Oh, a son was born to my steward. That's important information, and I'm glad that I get the little crying baby notification. Let's send my Chancellor into Athol to directly improve the opinion of Earl Malmor. He is a serious contender for Scottish power. He is a claimant on the throne. It would not hurt for him to like me just a little more. And in the meantime, let me take a look at my intrigue map and see how, or my intrigue menu, I should say, and see how things are going. Ooh, we have a known plot. Oh, in fact, Earl Malmor of Athol is trying to fabricate a claim on the Duchy of Albany and take that away from Prince Donald. I don't really care about that, except that Earl Malmor hates me, or hated me, I should say. My Chancellor is a superhero and managed to win Earl Malmor over as well by 30 points. Which turns his number positive. That is enough for me right now. All of these will grow in time. Though I guess that's probably the most urgent. Now, why am I being dinged as a foreigner? Oh, because Eodulf of Teviotdale is Anglo-Saxon. Of course, we had this toing and froing on the border here with the English, so that makes a lot of sense. Well, you're just going to have to suck it up, buddy. There's not much that I can do about that right now. So let's leave my Chancellor there. He can continue to win over Malmor, who's a significant political presence. A daughter was born to Prince Bodovoj of Bohemia and Princess Letitia of Scotland, named a Flake. So this is my first... Oh, I was about to say first granddaughter, which is, of course, not the case. This is my first niece, I suppose. So, all right, Princess Letitia, all of 17 already with a daughter. And Princess Adelaide of Scotland is now of legal age. She became a charismatic negotiator. She does not think of me very highly. So we'll have to do something about that, though she's not a huge threat. It may be... Now, the problem is, if I marry her off to a foreign power, there's the possibility that those children will inherit some of her claim on Scotland, and that will come back in a generation's time, or perhaps two, to bite me. That would not be good. Although I'm not sure if strong claims can be inherited. I'm not sure if she were married in a normal marriage, if the claim would be inherited by the child. What I do know for sure is that the claim would be inherited in a matrilineal marriage, but in a matrilineal marriage, I can keep her in my court where I can keep an eye on her, and more importantly, possibly marry her off to a major power. Let's see, who is the weak link? Bishop Glenn of St. Macher remains the weak link in my council. I could use, although honestly, both Lennon and Mayor Gillespie could both stand to be replaced. Oops. So let's see what I can do here with a matrilineal marriage. Anso, the courtier of Vizcaya, the Basque. Not bad statistics, and he does want to be married. Just, content, gluttonous, humble, and wroth. Not great, but not terrible. Canute, or Newt, I don't know if that's a silent K. He's quite a guy, and that's quite a score. All I really need to avoid here is ambition, because that will just ruin... That will ruin any hope I have. Oh, now, hang on. Emmanuel, the steward of Velia, 16 years old with a stewardship of 19. Gregarious, charitable, envious, and Midas touched. He would be a worthy addition to my kingdom. Actually, I believe... I'm not certain... Ah, yes, there we are. It also affects the maximum size of my domain. Now, oh, well, I guess that... I was suffering a domain penalty before, but I guess it wore off, so that's fine. I guess. Let me see. He is certainly the most appealing prospect. I think we're going to bring Emmanuel into the family. There's a long history of Adelaide would gain 0 prestige. Okay, good. I don't really care about her prestige that much, so let's do that. Let's do that and bring Emmanuel in, and I can free Lennon to go off and... well, gee, I don't know what Lennon will do now. You'll go off someplace, but I'm sorry, buddy, you just do not cut it anymore. It gives me a 95% bump to my... Wow, so he doubles Lennon's tax collecting skill too. I think we're going to continue to research economic tech right now, but we'll keep our eyes open on that. Oh no! Wait. When I married her, my prestige took that hit. Oh, that was a mistake. That was not good. Oh dear. Okay, well, I guess we'll just have to push on. You know, this is just the beginning of a great story. This is just the beginning of the story where the boy exceeds his father's destiny, you know, and he proves himself. He grows up in the shadow of a great man, is thrust into the limelight himself, and must earn his place in the world. That's the story I'm hoping we're telling. It may be a much more tragic story. It's entirely possible. Wow, so there's a new jihad against Jerusalem. Wow. And of course the serene Doge Giovanni of Pisa is still ruling Jerusalem. And again, that is actually happening as we speak all the way down here. It is, if I can get the right zoom level here. Oh, I need to reset that. It is Pisen for the moment, but presumably not for long. And we're making some progress here in technology, which is always good to see. There's a tactic whereby you can send your spy master off into foreign lands and have him steal tech, but honestly, right now, with the fractious nature of these Scottish noblemen, I'm concerned about having my spy master out of the country. I think he needs to be exactly where he is for now. So we'll continue to maybe even step up the speed at which time is passing. Right now, time is our greatest resource. Oh no, that kid mocked me. I cannot be blamed for punching him in the face and giving him a nosebleed. I hate him. We have gained the trait Wrath. Oh, wait. Rushing into action seems foolish. I have gained the Patient trait. That seems to be under the influence of Princess Gruach of Scotland, who is my guardian, so that was well chosen by me. Excellent. My mission to Athol has been a success. Earl Malmore once again believes that I am a benevolent and peaceful ruler. I don't actually know if those bonuses double up. I guess, judging by that color on the map, I should say that they do. He now likes me 22, which I will take for now. Let's move my... The Earl of Fife was also troublesome. Let's move my Chancellor down there and continue this PR offensive. Continue to try to win these people over. Lennon de Inverness claims that he would be a better marshal than Bishop Glenn and petitions that he should be given the title. Okay, so Glenn currently has 10, which is... well, actually, Lennon, you make an excellent point. I do need to watch for the fact that you are ambitious, however. Oh, and presently unmarried. Sheena is dead, though you do now have an heir, which is something, I guess. Okay, let's switch out Glenn for Lennon. Let's do that. Let us put Lennon in the field to continue to research military tech. Young Leary Fraser is now of age and requires a guardian, so let's... I don't think I'll be handing her over to Lennon right now, since he doesn't seem to care for me a great deal. Let's entrust Lennon to her mother, I think. Let's do that. And I have a new heir. Okay, so now I will play as Ollie Fraser. Okay, so there's a son. So this is my nephew. He will be rapidly disinherited when I'm old enough to have children of my own. But for now, my nephew Ollie is heir, so that's good. That will actually solve a lot of my opinion problems too, because that will remove the negative, I believe it was negative 10 opinion penalty that I took for having a female heir. So that's excellent. It's all coming up Stephen, who has a diplomacy of 13 at the age of 14. That's really quite impressive. Light infantry and heavy infantry improving all the while here. Let's take a look at my religious vassals. See how they're getting along. I have my... okay, here we are. The dragon bows of longships, dragon bows, I imagine, of longships have been sighted off the coast of Fife, so we're being invaded by Vikings. But much more importantly, Earl Duff of Fife now likes me just a little more than he did before. Let's pause time. What kind of army do I have at my command here? Almost 7,000. You know, I think a minor victory against the Viking scourge would not necessarily be a bad idea. Though perhaps, yes. Let's, oh, he fled. Coward. Very well, let's have these armies stand down. There's nothing to do with them right now, unfortunately. Although, that's not entirely true, is it? Because I can... Well, it would be foolhardy in the extreme. What has that done for Earl Duff? He's positive. Let's move you over to... let's take care of Strathairn. Currently the Earl of Strathairn, yes, that's a negative number, so let's fix that. I do have a de jure claim on the the Duchy of the Isles, I could actually try and conquer any one of these places right now. The problem is that King Gudrod the Fat, I guess, is Norwegian and has traditionally strong ties with Norway, so he could call in. While he is an independent kingdom, he almost always calls in Norwegian support. So I need to be careful of that because I can't possibly compete against the entire Norwegian army right now. Stephen says I always do my homework and my chores before I go and play. He gains the trait diligent. I'm special. Okay. Okay. He is shaping up to be quite the young man. Oh, a little shuffling in the Vatican there. That always plays to my advantage because the opinion of my bishops resets and can swing. Yeah, not right now, but it can theoretically swing the... My liege, I implore you to send me to another province. The nitwits of Murray have already cost me an arm. I don't want to lose any more limbs just because they don't know the back from the front of an arrow. Your humble marshal, Lennon de Inverness. Lennon just gained the trait maimed because of a peasant revolt, presumably because he was... Well, not a peasant revolt, I guess, just peasant incompetence. So that's a thing that happened. He's having quite the adventure, Lennon of Inverness. An open council position, surprisingly not Lennon. We have won over Earl Gilchrist, though. I've got to say, Prince Borovoj, you are doing sterling work. I am very impressed by you, sir. Let's get you back in Fife, since apparently... Oh, I can't just yet, not until the 26th of November. You exceeded beyond my understanding of it. My goodness, and the reason that my reputation fell in Fife is that Earl Duff has died and been replaced by his son, I imagine? Indeed, his son, Earl Constantine, who is not fond of me. But, you know, we'll win him over. And that prestige effect is hurting me right now. So something happened to my spy master. Oh, and I find myself horribly bereft of competent spy masters. I wonder what I can do about that. Well, I am king. I wonder if there are any... Let me see. So I can search my realm. I can search for men who are not in prison. It doesn't matter if they're married, I guess. I need them to not be a ruler. Religion, blah, blah, blah. Let me see. Intrigue here. Ian, the spy master of Albany. Sir, I wondered if you would accept an invitation to your king's court. You absolutely wouldn't. Okay, cool. That's fine. That's good. No, really, that's all okay. Wow, so Lennon is probably my best bet. Unless I can persuade one of these fine fellows, which I probably can't because no one likes me. Yeah. Okay, let's find which of these guys... Yeah, you aren't interested at all. Ian was slightly interested, I believe. Yes, okay. So I would have to win him over enormously in order to get him... Let me see here. What would a gift buy me, Ian? Not that much. Alright. Well, you know, I think that Lennon has probably been out in the field for long enough. Let us appoint Gilroy, who is now... Oh, he's my rival. Oh, okay, so he holds claim to... My God, that is the former Earl of Buchan. That is the former Earl of Buchan, who I disgraced and discredited early in the game. You know what? Maybe it's time that you found your way back into my good graces, sir. Maybe, just maybe, you can make up for your rebellious ways, by which I mean you stood in my way vaguely. Get back to work out there. Let's see what I can do. Still not great. What do you want? You don't have an ambition. You're basically a wreck of a man. You're my rival, which is negative 100. That's basically going to be very difficult to overcome, isn't it? Well, you can serve for now, though your days are numbered, and we can put Lennon back in charge. He can retire from the field and become... At this rate, he's going to have held every major position on my council. So let's keep going. Okay, Lennon. Wow. No sooner had I put him in place, Lennon, the man, the legend, than he died of the wounds that he sustained while researching military technology in Murray. Lennon, you will be missed. That is an unfortunate turn of events. Let me see here. I can try to just randomly summon. I do have a lot of money, which I should also use for upgrading my township here in Murray. I should definitely use it for upgrading some of this stuff. Let's use it first, though. I have a very small pool of people. Let's see what I can do. Invite perhaps a couple of new noblemen to join my court. So now if I go into my court, they should be at the bottom here. Yes, Constantine. Oh, an interesting martial score and an interesting stewardship score. The worst intrigue score possible. He is wrathful, proud, just, and gluttonous. Okay, that's something to work with. He's got some potential there. Waldev de Elgin, on the other hand, yeah, doesn't even have that much going for him. That is too bad. An indulgent wastrel. Well, alright, where does that put me? That puts me in a bad position, doesn't it? Okay, Glenn, the Bishop of Macker, you are going to function right now as my spy master. I, though, think I need to upgrade. Well, this is interesting, isn't it? I can start upgrading my castle, making it more formidable, increasing the levies that I have at my command. Well, you know, let's start with the castle fortifications and see where we are in 6 months. Let's do that for now. By far the cheapest investment that I can make. I could also... Perhaps I should relocate my capital to Gowrie. It is... Yeah, it's more impressive. It has more potential. But there again, you know, Murray is home. And I'm not sure that I'm not sure that the case for Gowrie is so clear-cut as to force me to abandon my ancestral home. What is actually my ancestral home. Good news for my mission to Murray. During my visit to the court of Bishop Glenn of St. Macher, I have filled his ears with poisonous slander and evil rumors about his spiritual leader. I totally hung out with Bishop Glenn and smack-talked the Pope. So that's a thing. Okay, so my personal court, with the exception of Gilroy Buchanan. Wait, there's no reason not to fire him now, right? Constantine's better at the job. Right, okay. You are fired, buddy. Constantine, Duke Ulfgar of Mercia, has usurped the title County of Worcester from Wiglaf of Hereford. That's interesting. I'm not entirely certain why I get that notification. The way that this game handles notifications is so strange. I seem to think that there is a way of setting the kinds of messages that you get. Message settings. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Okay. Oh, wow. So you really can just go through this in minute detail. And, wow, look at that. I should probably set this up in a way that is a little more, conducive to the kind of game that I'm playing and the kind of experience I want here while I'm streaming. I'll maybe look at that between this episode and the next. Now, what was I doing? I was setting Marshal Constantine to continue to research military tech there in Murray. How is my tech tree going? It is coming along. It is coming along nicely. I can finally afford to boost legalism. And I have a new niece. Prince Borovoj of Bohemia and Princess Letitia have a daughter named Letitia. It's nice to see that name passing down the family tree there. So I can boost my legalism, which I believe, I don't know, 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 I Yeah, I forget if it does it directly, but I believe that it has a positive... Oh no, maybe Majesty is what I'm more concerned with right now. I need to look up the technology tree and actually do it. The Regency of King Stephen of Scotland has ended. My God, we've made it. It snuck up on me. It is the 28th of November, 1088 AD. Ah, Bishop Trond, you served well as my regent, but now I am of legal age, and I am a charismatic negotiator. Let us pause time immediately and gaze upon this man, this legend, gregarious, kind, patient, and diligent, a charismatic negotiator with a personal diplomacy of 20. That is formidable. That is absolutely formidable. So now we need to marry him off. That is far and away the most important thing, though we can to also pick an ambition. You know, let's pick the ambition to get married. We can use the prestige bump there. Let's take a look. Now, one of the few things that your wife can do for you in terms of serving on your council, the only thing, in fact, that your wife can do for you in terms of serving on your council is act as your spy master. So this is a great opportunity to compensate for the fact that I do not have a strong spy master. If we can find the perfect mix of skill and traits and compatibility, then we can really make this happen. And I'm looking at Isabel, the daughter of Count Comgall of Carrick. She is Scottish, which is awesome. Arbitrary, deceitful, ambitious, cruel, and temperate. That score is a formidable score. Unfortunately, ambition is a very bad trait to have in a wife in this game. My God, you too are ambitious. I guess ambitious gives you that incredible boost to your intrigue, so it's likely that anyone at this level is going to be ambitious. Gluttonous, cynical, deceitful, but an intricate web weaver. Gregarious, wrath, greedy, envious, and brave. Let's see if we can scroll down here. I mean, 14 would be great. Deceitful, arbitrary, wrath, charitable, humble, and kind. She's 18 years old. She's got a decent diplomacy, a pretty good intrigue score. She desires to get married, and she's a Breton. She's just a courtier though. So that would have profound prestige effects. That's the other thing, you see. I have to be so careful. If I were, and let's just randomly select this here. Yeah. So I would lose 99 prestige on that deal, and I just can't afford. I just can't afford to lose prestige right now. It's just not a viable thing. So let's maybe go the other way and see what we can do here with rank. See who the most... Wow, so she's an actual countess. She's also 2 years old, so that's probably not going to happen. Okay, so... You. Jacinta. Now you must be... Yeah, you're low too. Why were you coming up there for rank? What happened here? Did I not click the rank button? Is that what happened? I apparently didn't properly click the rank button. That would make sense, right? Okay, so we're going to look for people who are young enough to offer me a number of children, and preferably a good number of children. Just, craven, deceitful, content, kind. She's a mastermind theologian, which is not a trait that I care that much about. But... She's not bad. We can stick a pin in her. She has a title for Provence and would gain an alliance with Duke Raymond IV of Toulouse, which would be advantageous. Wow. Agnes, on the other hand, with a natural diplomacy of 24, coupled to my natural diplomacy of 20, she has no negative traits. She has some potential too. That's a ridiculous number. It really is. And of course, the further down the list we go, the lower in rank we are. Okay, let's take a look at Agnes here. Agnes could be the one. Ah, wow, still negative 200 prestige effects from marrying the relative of a baron. This is no good at all. This is no good at all. I need people with higher rank. Okay. I'm being merciless here. Yeah, I guess I did go a long way down this list, didn't I? I really did. Okay, so Lucia or Lucia? What would I get from you? Okay, so at least that's a break even. I get 21 prestige. She is a mastermind theologian. She would be an excellent wife. She's the right age. The kindness makes her compatible. And the mastermind theologian is not a bad trait to have. Okay. And also, of course, the alliance with Toulouse could be invaluable later. Let's go for that. Wow. Lucia and King Stephen have gotten married. We can collect a royal aid duty to pay for the ceremonies. No, people respect wealth, and I desperately need 200 prestige. Look at that. My prestige is now positive again. It's about damn time. To the kindly King Stephen, your wisdom and mercy, are legendary. I accept your suggestion that King Stephen and Lucia get married. Excellent. I fulfilled the ambition to get married, and now I can, of course, select a new ambition, which I think should be, for the sake of practicality, to have a son. I don't know statistically what impact picking... There are two ambitions, one to have a son and one to have a daughter. I don't know statistically what impact they have on your game, but it does seem to make it slightly more likely, so I'll take it for now. So let me see what we have here. My vassals are doing okay. I've managed to get everyone well up. My direct vassals, at least, well up into the green, so that's a good situation. We still have some lingering resentment here in Teviotdale. Let's see if we can't win over... What was his name? The new... You get so caught up. Earl Duff of Fife's son, Earl Constantine. Let's try and win him over, because I'm only barely positive with him. And his father, at least, was a major political force, so we'll keep track of that. Oh, we have two known plots right now. Earl Malmer is still trying to fabricate a claim on the Duchy of Albany without success. It's been years, but that's fine. Henry Dunbar wants to kill Donella. Oh my god, Donella Dunkeld? Wow, okay, so Henry Dunbar, whoever he is, wants to kill the daughter of Prince Donald, the Duke of Albany. Why is that, Henry Dunbar? What is your deal? Oh my god, that's Duke Gospatric's son. So Duke Gospatric's son, the son of one of my dukes, wants to kill the daughter of another of my dukes. That is no good. That is no good at all. We are not going to have that. I'm going to invite you in a friendly way to end your plot. Besides which, you don't go after the families. What is this? Blessings upon you and your house. Your demand is just. My scheming was obviously misdirected. I hope you will find it in you to forgive me. I can probably be persuaded. I mean, look how noble I am. This is crazy. Birth of the Assassins. The Hashashin Guild has been founded out there in the world, though I myself believe these hashish smokers are harmless. So that is a new political force out there in the world. It is very unlikely that they are going to interact with me in any way. Prince Borovoj continues to do sterling work and wins over... wow! Did that just come up twice? Did you just win over Earl Constantine twice, Borovoj? How's that opinion doing there, buddy? Wow! Improved relations plus 60. You just charmed the pants off him. I'm going to buy you a drink when you get home, let me tell you. I can't even move you once again. You have succeeded so swiftly that there's nothing I can do about it. A daughter was born to Emmanuel Faliero and Princess Adelaide of Scotland, named Ithne. A good Gallic name, I like that. Oh my god, and a son too, named Kenneth. So we're dealing with twins. I have a twin niece and nephew. Excellent. Excellent, look at that. And still 3 sisters, all of whom are currently underage. Wow. The jihad against Jerusalem, or the jihad for Jerusalem, I should say, was successful. The Serene Doge Giovanni of Pisa has been deposed. So, again, now, if I scroll in here, we can see Borovoj just won over Earl Constantine again. Guy, I think this is getting a little embarrassing. I gotta tell you. So now we see no more influence of Pisa over Jerusalem and the surrounding districts. That's, it is still dizzying, no matter how much you play this game. It is still dizzying to move over here and to look at all of these counties, to consider the politics that are happening here. It's just remarkable. Let's look at Hellas here, for example. Count Demetrius of Hellas. He has a low opinion of me. I find it hard to believe he's ever heard of me, but that's great. And his wife, Rodanthe. Their liege Duchess Anna the Unready. Why is she unready, I wonder? There's a story there that I will probably never know. She's an aggressive leader, though, I can tell you that much. And they are, of course, subjugated by Basilius Michael VII the Cruel of the Byzantine Empire. So all of this happening. My God, look at that title list. That's impressive. 3 truces and an embargo. I think you get your next truce for free. So all of that is happening in the world, but we are, of course, more occupied with this tiny corner, this idyllic sceptered isle set in a shining sea. Oh, we got some cardinal business there. Let us start time rolling forward again. So now we have a positive prestige. Now we can see that we managed to turn our vassals' opinions around. We've managed to win over Glenn, the Bishop of St. Macher. He likes us more than the Pope. That personal diplomacy just cannot be argued with. That's amazing. That is amazing. And he is 16 years old. Who knows what King Stephen of Scotland will be capable of? Oh no, wait. This is another example of this failure to notify me when something important happens, buddy. I guess I keep forgetting that I can't get into my vassals that way. Trond, my former regent, the Norwegian Bishop of Dornach, has apparently passed away. And been replaced by this young upstart. Nothing but 36 years old. Would you look at that? Wow. So Trond, who really kept a firm hand on the tiller, made it possible for King Stephen to grow to adulthood, has now passed on. You know, I think we learned something from that Norwegian guy. I think we all learned a little something about tolerance, didn't we? Did we? Honestly, not sure at this point. So let's send Bishop Matthew of Rosmarki up to Caithness to win over the new guy. Persuade him that I am doing, I guess, God's work. That would be the appropriate thing to convince him of, wouldn't it? As we move ever onward toward the beginning of a new decade, the dawn of 1090, it was one of those situations where you didn't want to tell the truth in case it would hurt a person, but at the same time, honesty is a virtue. Lie and don't hurt anyone gives me a chance of gaining the deceitful trait. Be honest and tell it as it is gives me a chance of gaining the honest trait. Well, I mean, look at this guy. Look at Peter Perfect here. I mean, what are we going to do? Go for deceitful? No, he's going to be honest. We're going to gain +3 to diplomacy if we get this trait, which would be awesome. At least it's not a chance he's going to die. And as it turns out, we didn't get it anyway. Still, we chose to tell the truth because that's just the right thing to do. So let's start taking a look now. Now that we have this formidable force at my command, 6,700 troops. Just a little more public relations. 6,700, in fact, compares to Gudrod's forces. Yeah, we're doubling his army. Which means that we have to watch for him pulling in allies. You know, without allies... Yeah. Without allies, he's an easy mark. With allies, we're going to have a big problem, particularly, God help us, what does Norway have at its disposal now? Let me see here. King Magnus II of Norway, doesn't he look severe? Well, actually, he only has 5,000 troops available right now, though we mustn't fall into the trap of thinking that he's the only possible ally that Gudrod the Fat could have at his command. Let's continue our let's continue our PR blitz here, see what we can do. I wonder if I have, I almost certainly have, in fact, honorary titles to hand out. Let's make Bishop Patrick keep track of my swans, I guess, since poor old Trond isn't around to do it anymore. At the same time, well, gee, I don't know. It's not going to hurt to put in place an appointed regent. I could use Gus Patrick's complete support. Though at the same time, how does my wife feel about me right now? 64, that's not half bad, but you know, I think at this point, let's make her the designated regent. I think the opinion effect at home, particularly as it relates to fertility, can only be helpful. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. There's an army levies and a fleet levies button there. Has that always been there? My God, that must be a new addition. I played a great deal of Crusader Kings for a while, and then fell off of it. Shortly after the Old Gods was released, I didn't play a great deal of that expansion pack and didn't buy any more, so there have been a ton of tiny tweaks and tiny interface changes. So, there we go. Fate smiles upon me. My wife, Lucia, is pregnant. So even at the time, even at my best and my most accomplished in this game, I didn't completely understand the systems, and now they've changed some of them. So apparently I don't have to go into that little sub-realm menu to find out what is going on. All right, let's take this too as an opportunity to express confidence. Not in Letitia. What am I doing? I'm looking for Lucia. I think it's appropriate that my wife take over the education of my younger sister. At least under these very specific circumstances. I'm not saying across the board that's a good idea, but, you know, it's impossible to try and get a hold of Gilroy. He always has some sort of excuse to get away from me, ignores me, or even hides from me. Gilroy? Gilroy Buchanan? I have given up on Gilroy. You know, I think I'd already given up on Gilroy for you know, quite a while back now. All right. Let's see how we're doing here. What I want to do... Yeah, my monthly income is actually not half bad, but it certainly could be better. I think let's build up the port town of Inverness. I think a little expenditure here could only benefit us. So let's build up the port town of Inverness, and more importantly, let's see here. Well, that's an across-the-board increase to my levy reinforcement rate and my retinue size, though that gives me additional actual troops. Considering the timescales that we're dealing with, let's go with the barracks first. That cost a lot of money, but I think it's the right choice to invest at this point. Oh, we've had another sighting here down in Fife. All right, let me see. Let me see who I have on the ground nearby. Don't really need my personal guard there, but we can march. Oh, morale is low. I think they're probably going to... Yeah, they're going to strike and flee before I even get a chance, but that's fine. You know, if I can marshal my armies and then disband them peaceably, that's oops, disband all of them peaceably. That's not the worst thing that can happen. Ward them off before they cause any harm with their depredations. Now I was hoping to launch the war against the Isles here, but we're kind of running on. It's been almost 45 minutes just of consolidation and politicking here. We are in 1091. I have a new heir. If your character dies, you will play as, well, we're not going to call him Radolf. Oh my god, and we have twins again. Good lord. Alright. Alright. Well, let's, certainly there's only one name that can be appropriate for the son. To honor the great man who got us here, who ill-advisedly slept with his wife that one time and died as a result. We're going to have a son called Jamie. So he is now my heir, and that is a good, strong thing. And let me see. Do we have... I don't want to necessarily double up on names. We've gone through quite a lot here. Perhaps a more simple, common Scots name. Mary. We'll have a Mary in the family, shall we? Alright. So that's my ambition fulfilled. We have a new heir. Now, I can choose to become exalted among men, or to aim, I should say, for exaltation. You know, oops, no, that's not what I want. I do actually want to go for, I do want to go for this ambition because this is true to the story, right? He was born in this tumultuous time. No one trusted him. No one liked him. No one cared about him. He had to scrabble and fight tooth and claw to put his country back together. He had that enormous prestige hit thanks to my misunderstanding of how the systems in this game worked. He's into prestige. That's what he wants. He wants, if not to eclipse his father in the annals of history, then to at the very least stand alongside him. And he's 18 years old and he has nothing but a bright future ahead. Are you still my best spy master? You are. I have to do something about this spy master situation. How old is Galus? Galus is going to mature in 2 years. Hopefully I will be able to marry her off to an eligible young man. Increase in military organization, that's always good to see. Alright. So we have all but... Oh, what is your problem now, Malmer of Athol? He's just not won over by anything. There's nothing I can do to win this guy over. I don't know what his problem is. I mean, it doesn't matter so much because he's not my direct vassal, and he is... Wow, he doesn't think much of a lot of people. But nonetheless, you know, I like this map to look a little more complete. It's perhaps this time we moved you on, since you so completely won over Constantine, who is now my biggest fan. That improved relations plus 90. Now, unfortunately, that's all going to disappear around the same time. Perhaps a year from now, 2 years from now. So I'll need to keep an eye on that. But hopefully I'll be able to win him over with more... or for more concrete reasons, such as the successful prosecution of a war against the treacherous kingdom of the Isles out here. Did Queen Lucia just die? Oh my god. After a period of illness? That's all I'm getting? Wow. Okay, Queen Lucia just died. At the age of 19. She had the twins, and that was it. And now, I guess it is time... Well, let's very quickly find another guardian for young Claire. Yeah. Let's send her off to Letitia, in fact. My sister Letitia can take care of her. Wow. All right. Well, I guess we have to go through this again then. We have to go and go and see who we can marry. This is interesting. Anthusa, Princess of the Byzantine Empire, daughter of Basilius Michael the Cruel. That gives us a possible alliance with Basilius Michael the Cruel. And she holds claim to the Byzantine Empire and Georgia. So she is serious business. Just, charitable, diligent, wrath, ambition, which is the killer, but also temperance. She desperately wants to marry a ruler. She is orthodox right now, but that can be handled later. Lucinetta, she's good, but also ambitious. An ambitious wife really is just a recipe for disaster, particularly after your character dies. If your wife outlives you, the politicking that takes place as a consequence is often nightmarish. There's nothing particularly special about your statistics. I'm terribly sorry, though you are the daughter of the Serene Doge Gentile of Pisa. There are some princesses, all of whom are far too young to worry about. Yeah, yeah. Well, Ah, that's an impressive diplomacy score. Humble, patient, gregarious, zealous, and just. The daughter of Duke Sven the Just. It's in her name, Ingrid. A possible alliance with Duke Sven the Just. Decent scores all across the board, and that's a nice diplomacy. Ingrid, how would you feel about marrying a king? Oh, you feel pretty good about marrying a king. All right, let's do it. So my second wife is Swedish. Ingrid Sven's daughter has arrived. And I'm sorry to do this to you, but this is my new wife, I guess. But at least Lucia gave us Jamie and Mary. Hopefully enough to be going along with for now. Oh, Africa's old enough for an education. You know what? Bodovoj has been doing... Well, he already likes me about as much as it's possible to like someone. Who here can I win over? Who here would be thrilled? Well, Ingrid. Ingrid, why don't you take the... why don't you take over the education of my niece? That's quite a vote of confidence in your new wife, right? Let's also make her the designated regent. Let's just completely win her over here. My young wife has taken a passion for romantic poetry. She keeps reading any sort of romantic poetry she can get a hold of. God, be careful, man. Be careful. This is what killed your father. I can lose 10 gold. She can gain 10% fertility and the trait lustful. I can gain 5 piety. She loses 10% fertility. Or I can force her to gain the trait chaste and gain 10 piety. Now, here's the problem. On the one hand, I have an heir. I don't necessarily want to muddy the line of succession by having more than one. However, as the old saying goes, an heir and a spare. I think we're going to encourage romantic poetry. I think we're going to give her the trait lustful. Which I think is compound. I think that actually is a 30% boost to her fertility. So we'll see how that works out. But certainly, I mean, what man in his right mind is going to deprive his wife of porn? I mean, really. All right, we are running very long. I really was hoping to get to... my beloved mother Nest is concerned that she is still not married. I actually have to marry someone? My God. We also have news from Bishop Matthew that he has persuaded Bishop Ewan that the Pope is not all that. All right, let us marry off the Queen Mother Nest, who, at the ripe old age of 37, I mean, really shouldn't feel as though she's on the scrap heap of life. She does, though, have claims on a number of titles, all of which are in Wales, and thus of very little interest to me. So can I arrange a matrilineal marriage through her and bring in a talented... Oh, look at this, look at this. Marry her off to a 20-year-old? Mother, I have excellent news. Bermond is going to come... is going to come marry you. Wow. So Nest would gain 2 prestige and negative 100 from marrying the relative of a count. Now, I don't know if that applies to me or just to my mother. Let's find out, shall we? Let's see. No, I'm good. Okay, so she took that prestige hit. Not that it matters. Her prestige is still reasonable. But hopefully, there we go. All the children of the Union will be of her dynasty. That's excellent. That's excellent. I guess. Except now that I think about it, is it excellent? I've created the possibility of a ton of squabbling half-brothers and sisters. Perhaps that's not the best. However, you know, let's be mature about this. I now have an excellent spy master. I'm obviously not going to call him Dad. You know, that'd be weird. I'm a grown man. So's he. Although barely. Oh no, wait. What has just happened? What has just happened? I am 19 years old. And my mother's husband is 20 years old. I feel like I should have thought that through a little more before I did it. Now it feels gross. But that's cool, you know? Bermond and Stephen, we've got so much in common. I'm the king, you're my spy master. The first competent one I've had for, no kidding, 10 years. A jihad for Anatolia. My God. Now, the Pope is sure to respond with a new wave of crusades all too soon. All right. So let's see. My council is actually in pretty great shape right now. I have constructed the barracks and forests, which is important. Oh, look at that. Constantine wants to get married. I can make that happen. Buddy, you wanted to get married this whole time? Okay, let's see. Yeah, I have a few courtiers here. So he's 30 years old. I'm going to pay close attention to that. You'd better believe it. I think Ada. I think you and Ada would make a great couple. Oh, or Fenella. How do you hold... Huh. Alright, that's a mystery for another time. You guys make the cutest couple. Go to it. Very impressed. Okay. And now he likes me 100 because I set him up. Alright. So we really are closing out now. Let me see how my military situation is coming along. Wow, another Pope switcheroo there. So 6.8 thousand, and Princess Galis of Scotland is now legal age. She has become an underhanded rogue. Let me see what I can do for Galis. Not statistically awesome. It's pretty fair to say. I think we're probably going to have to shoot for a middle-of-the-road marriage here. That's my weakness in my council. It's still my marshal, I think. Though I did just get Constantine set up. Let's see perhaps if we can do this. This is just the marriage episode of a Highland Fling. This is Nando, the Marshal of Cumbria. He's pretty good. Actually, there's a number of strong and impressive young fellows here. Though I guess I need a matrilineal marriage. I didn't think of that, did I? That's not really impressive enough. Let's just make sure there's no one with a truly outstanding... Wow. Though he is homosexual. Well, which would... That would swing against the possibility of more squabbling relatives. Okay, how is my council doing for... 19's good. 24 is real good, though. I'm not sure if this is the responsible way of really conducting my affairs here, but he does have an ambition to become steward. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. What's the worst that could happen, right? As a relative of a king, Galis and you would gain 5 prestige, and negative 100 for marrying the relative of a count. Okay, so that's how it works. Alright, well, I'm sorry. That's, that is not going to be happening right now. Well, that being the case, since we're concerned primarily with earning a lot of prestige, the Duke of Mazovia... Kind, craving, charitable, patient, chaste, and wounded. That's too bad, but he's quite a guy. I could just wed her off and send her off into the wide world, right? I probably have enough relatives hanging out in the castle already. I just don't know. Well, she's no great shakes. Is there a prestige effect that I'll get from this? 62 prestige. Let us send her off into the world. Let's send her off and see how that works out for us. It won't hurt to have friends in high places. Alright, so they got married. All is well. My council is pretty great. Look at that. Look at those numbers. That is the best. My vassals are fairly happy. Actually, yeah, pretty happy. My bank account is pretty good. Yeah, that's nice try there, buddy. Nice try. Okay, so we're in a pretty strong position. We have put Scotland back together. And next time, since I really have to wrap up at the 1 hour mark, next time, I promise, we will actually conduct some wars. Next time, King Stephen takes the war to the Duchy of the Isles and we reclaim it for Scotland. That's the first step in his greater war, his greater crusade. And who knows how far afield his eye will turn? Who knows what great plans he has? Perhaps even the unification of Britain. Well, we'll see. Thanks for watching, you guys. I'll be back very soon with more.